Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Mind Right Game Time Show. I'm your host, Michelle Morgan. I'm a transformational sports coach, and I work with student athletes on the aspect of mindset in sports as well as in life. So I'm a life coach for our youth. I also wrote the book, How Youth Triumph in Sports, Tools That Create a Triumphant Life, a life skills book written on all the things and skills that we're learning while we're playing sports, and then understanding how those skills are going to transfer over to create a triumphant life, because we're going to spend a lot more time in life than we do in sports. I also created a workbook to go along with the book that you're more than welcome to check out on Amazon.com. And to find more information about me, you can check out my website at www.vidasoro.com. Today's guest is Dominic Herrera. He's 15 years old and is entering his junior year at Oxnard High School. He plays catcher on the boys baseball team and has been playing since he was 3.5 years old and loves the sport. After he graduates from high school, he will further his education and play baseball at Arizona State University. So thank you, Dominic. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So you're going into your junior year of high school, and what has been some of the things that you've learned, going through like your freshman year, your sophomore year, in order to continue to improve, or say like, you know what, I've learned that lesson and I'm going to start off on the right foot this time?
Mainly staying focused, not being distracted by anything, just staying on track and being on top of your work and all that.
Or have you been distracted before and kind of lost focus of
Yeah,
what your goal was?
yeah. This I had to like stay on top of it more than I usually had to, because I was mainly just focusing on sports rather than my education part of it.
And so how did you see that show up for you in terms of not really giving it all you had or staying focused in the classroom? What caused that change for you to realize it now going into your junior year?
Just that I need to stay focused really, because if I don't keep my grades up or anything, I can't do anything after high school. I can't further my education or keep playing baseball.
What kind of made the click happen to realize it? Was it like your parents, your coaches, or what happened where it
Yeah,
finally made you like, oh, okay, I need to do this, and if I want to, continue to play baseball?
mainly my parents. Yeah, I was like, I noticed the grades. I was like, okay, I can probably get them up. But then they just kept saying every single day, get them up, get them up. I was like, all right, I gotta just start actually focusing on this right now.
So you were seeing your grades, they were low, so you were kind of like taking a glance and like, oh, it'll go up.
Yeah, yeah.
And and so what did you make any progress during the end of last school year, or is it this is something that, you had the talk with your parents over the summer?
No, I got I think I had like a C minus and I brought it up to like a B plus or something. I got a couple grades up to an A. So yeah, I just kept going on the grades.
So what changed for you, like in terms of getting those grades up? Besides your parents giving you the talk, what were some of the things, actions that you took in order to see those C minuses go to a B plus?
Mainly focusing more on like tests and all that, and staying up later just to finish the homework rather than just like turn it in halfway done or something. So yeah.
And what did you learn about yourself through that experience of seeing your grades improve?
Just that I realized I can actually do it, than just saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna halfway do it and then I'll be fine." But I wasn't fine. I had to do every single thing to get my grade all the way up to like the A or the B.
Nice. I thank you for sharing that, because for me, what you said just really resonated with me in terms of, when you started to actually put in the work and do it, you
Hmm.
actually saw that you were capable of doing it.
Yeah.
So it's not one of those things where it's like I don't like it and then I just don't do the work. Is that something that you've only seen like in the classroom, or is that something that you've experienced in other areas of your life where may not be something that is your favorite thing to do, but then once you started putting in the work, you saw a positive result?
Yeah, sometimes I really just don't want to practice. Like, I'll just stay in bed or I'll just like be on the couch all day. I don't want to practice at all. But I know the end result of practicing will eventually get me to college.
So is that another goal that you have this coming school year season, is motivating yourself for practice, because
Yeah,
practice is always going to be there.
yeah, I know. That's one thing I have to improve on. Just being focused and actually wanting to practice and being forced to.
Yeah, definitely. Why is it that you don't feel like you want to practice?
Sometimes I just think I'm already as good as these other kids, or I'm better than them, so there's no really point. But there's always people that's gonna be better than you, and they're still practicing right now. So you have to just take advantage of the time you have to be better.
Right. So also with like goal setting, like you have a goal, you want to go to Arizona State. So you
Yeah.
want to go there to play baseball and go to school as well. And it's knowing like you have a goal that's not in front of you. You're not on the campus of Arizona State right now, is, where you're
Mm.
taking your high school classes. So it's seeing, a vision that's not even in front of you. So just because your current situation of, I'm better or than everybody else or whatever it is, you just don't know what you don't see, like you said. And that's
Yeah,
what's,
yeah.
has got to be pushing you. And what's your role on the baseball team as well?
I usually try to stay as like a captain or as like a guy that keeps the team up. Try not to let them lose focus of the end goal of like winning the league or keep going in like the playoffs. So yeah, my role, I guess.
Is it a role you embrace or that you like having?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I get to like talk to everyone, be involved with everyone, the coaches and all that. So it's pretty cool.
And then also with being a leader, a captain of your team, you have to lead by example. So we all know that if you're telling me, like, yeah, we want to win league and we got to do this. And, if I don't know if you're like kind of like in your face or you're saying all these things and it's like, but you don't even do it. So I don't even get why
Yeah,
you're telling me
yeah.
this. And then even if I have or teammates that can improve, we all got to be at practice to get
Yeah,
better. So
yeah.
it's understanding that. And to me, it's like, it's leading by example.
Mm.
So I'm going to go ahead and give you a goal, and that's to lead by example,
All right.
because I think that you can definitely step it up this
Mm-hmm.
season. Just this little piece of like conversation that we're having, you have so much potential. I've seen the videos that your mom posted of you of doing so well while you're on that baseball field, but knowing what can be created by putting that work in, just like you got that C- to a B+,
Mm-hmm.
just think what you can create and taking your game to the next level. So right now, you might think you're good, but we're just going to say you're at a C- right now.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys got baseball coming up. So I mean, you can
Yeah.
get it to a B+, and then you can get it to an A. So
Yeah,
it's going to
that's
be
true.
putting in
That's
all
true.
that work,
Yep.
because I don't want you to sell yourself short.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to give more than you're giving. So
Yeah.
that is my goal out there for you,
All right.
in terms of that. So yeah,
Yeah,
I want
thank
to
you.
see that.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yep.
And then maybe even come see you play a baseball game as well.
Yeah, maybe.
So putting that in motion. I want to know when you're at an A.
All
I
right.
want to see you put that in so that you can achieve that goal of going to Arizona State and going
Mm-hmm.
to college and things like that. Because it sounds like that's what you love. You love baseball and you
Yeah.
have the vehicle to do it. But it's what gas are you going to put into your tank to get there? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like a car. If you don't put no gas in it, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
So you got
it's
to put that
true.
energy in. So you got to put that energy into yourself, into all the things that you do with 100%. So you have enough gas to get to Arizona State.
Hmm.
You don't want to poop out, halfway at the border of California and Arizona because you ain't going to make it.
Yeah.
So I thank you for allowing me to share that with you. Also, not just with school, but in baseball as well. Has there been any adversity that you have to overcome playing baseball?
Yeah, there's been a little. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just that you just have to just really just stay focused. You can't really get distracted by your friends. That's another thing. I was really distracted by my friends last year too. They were like, "Oh, come and do this." I was like, "All right, I'll go," instead of like staying in extra or going early to practice or something. And I was like, "All right, I'll just be like 5 minutes late. What's the point or what's the big deal?" And then that's like probably one of my main focuses is next upcoming year. I have to just really stay focused in sports.
I thank you for your vulnerability because you're sharing things that, really create like the human side to you because you're sharing things that aren't like all like perfect and you're this,
Yeah.
everything's going like 100% and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I really appreciate about our conversation right now is that you're sharing all these things that all these like bugs you want to get out, that are inside of you. But the best thing is that you're aware of them. You know what you got to do,
Hmm.
so I think
Yeah.
that's really great. And I think that is also a sign of a leader because leaders are people that we can connect with that we feel are real people, If I think you're just acting fake, then I'm probably not going to respect you as much as a leader. And people listen to people and, work hard for people who they feel have their best interest. And they also show, these are things that I'm working on, but this is what I'm going to do to change it. So I think that's really great. I think that's a great characteristic that you have in being a leader. And I think you can really use that to your advantage in just seeing a completely like a turnaround. I really feel like you can use that to your advantage as a leader, as a person, as a brother, as a son, whatever it is that you're doing, everything that you're doing, you can really use that as an advantage to not only inspire yourself, but inspire others. So I really see you as an inspiration.
Thank you.
By action. Yeah, I do see that. So I really appreciate the things that you're sharing right now. So with school and sport, what do you feel like baseball has taught you through your playing career that has also helped you be better in life as well?
Just that you have to know when to rely on people. You can't do everything by yourself. If you expect to succeed by yourself, you won't really get anywhere. You have to have people help you along the way. You can't expect yourself to do everything. People will they don't have to help you, but if they're going to give you help or advice, you can take it.
Was there an experience that you had where you realized, I gotta, also rely on people and ask for help?
Yeah, some of my coaches, they gave me pretty good advice throughout the year, and I thought, all right. Or when I first heard it, I was like, okay, I really don't need it. I mean, I'm probably one of the better kids out here. And then throughout the year, it kept going, and then I think we were like in a little slump or something, and they kept telling us the same thing over and over again, and it just started to click in my head. Oh yeah, he actually is right. I just start listening to him now.
Uh-oh. So what was it that he was telling you to do that you were kind of like,
Just for me to really just to stay focused with the team and not distract them when they're doing something or whatever. I was like, okay, but it's whatever. And then throughout the year, I was like, oh, we actually need a win. We need a win right now. So he just kept telling us over and over again.
So how was your baseball season last season? What did that look like for you guys as a team?
Last year, we won league last year. It was pretty good throughout the year. Practices were cool, but like I said, we had those days where we just didn't really listen. So we just had to run or something.
Sounds like you're an impactful person. The more you speak, the more I hear how people really do listen to what you're saying and they see how you're acting, your actions, so even if the coach is like, you can't be a distraction to them because you got it, but your team doesn't got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's telling me that you play a huge role in the direction your team goes. So it's time to really step up, because what's your goal for this upcoming baseball season?
To be a starter still and to win league, really. Go further in the playoffs.
How far did you guys go last season?
Second round, I think. We went second round. Yeah, and then we lost.
Was it a tough game, or was it what kind of?
Nah, they destroyed us in the playoffs.
They dismantled you guys.
Yeah, we got manhandled out there on the field.
Was it like a mercy rule, or do you guys have that at?
Nah, it wasn't. They didn't score a lot of runs. They just scored enough, and then we didn't score any.
So yeah, so it's like having those goals set and for yourself, knowing that you want to go further in playoffs, and even if you go out, you at least want to go out with a fight, right?
Yeah.
No, that's the most important thing. Not we just,
Yeah.
Why did we show up again?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about. When we give it our all, we give it 100%, we can feel good regardless of what the result is. But it's when those times where we're like, man, I wish I should have, could have, would have. Those are the things that we don't want to feel. Those are the worst feelings. And so it's going into it that way as well. Who are your mentors? Who are the people that help guide you through this process or can continue to help guide you through life and sports, whatever it may be?
My parents, really, they're probably my main people that actually help me most of the time. Yeah, probably my parents. My coaches help, but mainly my parents.
What do you feel has been the biggest impact your parents have had on you?
Probably just putting me in the right situation at the right time. Just putting me on these teams that can have exposure to college level scouts and all that, and helping me play at the highest level just against kids that are as good or better than me.
that's great that, you're able to participate in a sport and also play on teams where you do get that exposure, right? Because you want to be seen. And so I want you to keep this in mind, because you're getting that exposure from college coaches, and these college coaches, you got to think like, okay, if I really want to play college baseball at, whatever level it may be, just think about how hard they go during practice. Just think about like what they expect of their players, like in the classroom, as citizens of their communities, all those things. They're expecting those things because the schools, these colleges and universities, they're a business.
Yeah.
So you got to start putting your best foot forward. So I would say if you have a goal to be at Arizona State, then start acting like you're at Arizona State.
Yeah.
Start practicing like you're at Arizona State. Start being that leader, because I'm sure they're not messing around during practice and being distracted at it.
Most likely not.
Yeah, it's like business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the classroom, I'm pretty sure they expect a certain level from, their teams at Arizona State. So just think, if you want to be at Arizona State, you got to start acting like you're at Arizona State, because you can't turn it on and it can't click. Just like you said earlier, where it's like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I should start listening. Like, we need to make playoffs now. Like, we got to win. It's just not that easy to click, because obviously you're taking it to another level. So keep that in mind. Like, you know what? I want to be at Arizona State. What would I be doing if I was at Arizona State right now? Would I be practicing hard? Would I be a good teammate, doing my work, giving it all, keeping my teammates focused, practicing even when I want to be sleeping or doing something else? Like, just keep that in the back of your mind to push you, because that's what you want, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the main goal right there.
So don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I mean, just with everything that you're sharing, you have definitely dropped knowledge, gems, and authenticity. And I'm going to say it again to you. You are a leader. You are unbelievable in the way you are vulnerable. You just share. You're like, you're not holding anything back.
Yeah.
You're like, this is who I am and this is my experiences. And I appreciate that. And so do the people around you. And the most important thing for you is what your actions are going to show through that. Yeah. So definitely a great conversation. So I really appreciate everything that you've shared, Dominic, because like I said, what you're sharing is not just an inspiration to me and others. It's also for yourself as well, most importantly. So thank you very much. And thank you very much for being on the show. And before you go, you have to finish this sentence. I am grateful for.
I'm grateful for my parents, my mom, my dad, my brother. I guess my brother, my sister. Yeah, just mainly family. Mainly my family.
Awesome. Well, don't worry. Your brother said lots of nice things about you. He's working on his kindness with you. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I bet he did.
It's all love. It's all love. Well, thank you, Dominic, for being on the Mind Right Game Tight Show. Treasure yourself and shine.